New at 5, Jake and Rebecca Haro are back in the headlines tonight, not because of their late son, Emmanuel, this time for his 3-year-old sister. A lawsuit has been filed on her behalf against the county of Riverside. NBC4's Christian Cázares covers the Inland Empire and explains more on what this means.
Under your agreement with the people of 12 years and 8 months.
It's been more than 2 months since Rebecca Haro was sentenced for the death of baby Emmanuel.
Willfully and unlawfully murder baby doe.
After the boy's father, Jake Haro, was sentenced to 25 years to life for the murder. Tonight, a new civil lawsuit puts the blame on Riverside County's Department of Public Social Services. It claims the department could have prevented a long series of crimes.
We represent a young 3-year-old girl who was the child of Jake and Rebecca Haro.
Roger Booth says that little girl is in foster care. The lawsuit, he says, seeks damages for the murder of Emmanuel last year and the abuse that his sister experienced living at the family's home while witnessing the abuse of her brother. This case, Booth says, would have no impact on the parent's sentence.
When DPSS went out to that home in June of 2024, they knew a lot already about Jake Haro. They knew that in 2018, he had very seriously injured his 2-month-old baby at the time. Doctors concluded that it was shaken baby syndrome. She ended up paralyzed and blind.
The lawsuit claims when social services started their 2024 investigation regarding Jake Haro's probation violation and the gun that he had at the home, the social worker was not starting from scratch because they had previous records that would have told them Haro was a very dangerous person.
The social worker goes in and answers certain questions about the family's history. How many times have they had CPS investigations? How many times have they been found to have abused a child? Questions like that. She answered those questions incorrectly. She failed to account for the 2018 incident, which is a huge omission. And therefore, the result of that risk assessment was faulty.
Booth says if things would have been done properly, a case would have been opened to monitor the family and create a plan which he says Jake Haro would have failed due to his previous history. A spokesperson for Riverside County tells us they have not received this lawsuit, but issued a statement which reads in part, Riverside County is deeply concerned whenever any child is harmed and takes every allegation of child abuse or neglect very seriously.
It should have been clear in June of 2024 that our client, who was then about a year old, was in serious danger. And if they drop the ball, if they don't follow their own rules, if they fail to protect children when children need to be protected, then they should be held responsible for that.
And Booth believes that if the proper steps were taken, baby Emmanuel could be alive today. We should mention that his body was never found. In Riverside, Christian Cázares, NBC4 News.